In today's video, myself and Hive Queen Meg get hands-on with the new edition of Warhammer 40k. We thought it might be fun to try out the new rules to get a flavour of what a game of 10th edition might feel like, and whether the promise of simplified not simple gameplay holds up. We have the datasheets for a lot of Space Marine and Tyranid units, as well as loads of reveals for everything from stratagems to the benefits of cover. For the Marines, a Space Marine Librarian in Terminator armour led a squad of Terminators along with the new Ballistarius Dreadnought. As this dread isn't out in the wild yet, he was subbed in for this Redemptor Dreadnought. On the Tyranid side, we subbed in a painted Hive Tyrant for our unpainted Swarm Lord, which is the only one we have rules for in terms of leaders for the Tyranids at the moment. He was leading two big squads of Termagants, the old Termagants unfortunately, and a Carnifex, who is subbing in for the new Screamer Killer, which is coming along in the launch box. What followed was an awesome game, with the Swarmlord getting annihilated by the immense firepower of the Ballistarius, the Terminators lumbering too slowly up the battlefield before being decimated by the immensity of the Screamer Killer, and the Tyranids forging a victory through the backfield objective holding power of the Gaunts, while the Ballistarius Dread could only look on in horror as he trampled the last of the other Termagant squad. Now, there's a lot of things we still don't know about the rules, but given what we have so far, here's mine and Meg's thoughts after the game on what we make of 10th edition so far.
Okay, cool. So we just finished our first game of 10th edition. Whee! How'd you find it, Megs?
I thought it was really good. I thought, in terms of how the rules are written,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot better. Feels more like intuitive. I think it'll be interesting when more rules come out, particularly with stratagems, because I think, as you saw, we had loads of command points left at the end.
Like I had 6, you had 7, I think. Or no, I had 7, you had 8, probably.
As much as Tyranids won, I'm a little disappointed that we won on VP, just because I never like winning on VP as much.
Would have been so much better if you'd won on the gambit.
Sitting on an objective, turn after turn, isn't as exciting. And I know that if we'd have played a couple more turns, I would have been wiped out.
With hordes, it's one of the advantages you have, is that you have, like, I have elite infantry who are very good in combat and will always kill your guys.
Yeah.
But your guys can hold, imagine getting in the way of a horde of 100 Termagants, right? Or thousands of Termagants.
But no, I'd say overall I enjoyed. I was very sad to have my
The
Swarm
Lord.
Lord.
That Ballistarius
that was due
Dreadnought.
to my poor placement.
Yep,
though.
yep.
So completely understandable. I think we haven't played a game in a little while and I got a bit carried away.
You were just like, he's going to run up the middle and slice into pieces, and he died.
But my Screamer Killer, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
10 attacks.
10 attacks is a lot.
10 attacks is a lot, just as like even a base, and it feels like, I think I've always struggled to know what could tear through Terminators.
Yep.
And that is something that could tear through Terminators.
Yeah, for sure. Even though the Terminators are possibly like more durable, like 3 wounds, 2+ save, 4 up invuln, they still got munched.
I don't think I've ever had anything really that's been able to take out Terminators.
Which feels about right? It's like Terminators should be tanky against all the small arms fire. Like the Termagants shouldn't really be able to harm them. But if something
you have
big,
a big beast thing with big claws,
designed to penetrate through the Terminator armor and just be like, see ya, shish kebab them, just absolutely shish kebab them.
The more that we play, the more we'll get used to some of the slight changes.
Things like Synapse being only 6 inches, for example, that's massive. And there's huge, powerful abilities locked behind your Synapse.
And I will say I do miss the psychic round, particularly from Tyranids, just because psychic is so prominent for us.
I think I miss psychic tests, like psychic tests where you roll for them and you can get perils. It's really funny.
Because I remember there was a time period where I kept getting perils.
Yeah.
But otherwise, how did you find it?
Oh, I really enjoyed it, I think. I think similar to you, things like Power Fists on the Terminators, you weren't having to worry. I mean, number one, they've been buffed, so it's like a 3+ rather than a 4+. But then you're not having to worry about different to-hit rolls on each of those different things because it's got them all in the weapon profile, so you can just see them without having to sift through all the rules. And then I think in general, it'll be interesting to see when we get the full kind of objectives and the missions and how those play. Because today...
And the gambit cards.
Oh, the gambit cards. I think they only have very limited gambits, which is a shame. So we've already seen one of them, but it's really thematic and cool. I love the idea of oh no, we're losing this one. We need to get to the corners and bombard. One other thing that I really liked was the cover rules.
Okay.
It feels quite simple to know what happens because it tells you.
So I know that last time there were lots of different types of cover and lots of, and it almost was quite complicated, and it felt like every time we were doing cover we were kind of then using the same thing.
Yes, whereas here there's only one type of cover. You get benefits of cover, which is +1 to save.
So they've really simplified that.
Yes, but they've said when you get it inside of the cover rules. So you get, if you're stood behind a barricade, you get it if you're within 3 inches and the barricade is between you and the enemy. which makes sense. If you're stood on a ruin or in a crater, you get it because you're stood inside of it, and that's all in the rules, but then they just say you get the benefit of cover.
Morale not, like, removing half your squad,
yeah,
I think is quite nice.
Yes, but
them being shaken and like
clearly has a big impact.
I can't
like,
do this.
The objective control thing, I think, will come in really handy.
Yeah.
Like your Tyranids thing. I know you didn't get to use it this game because you didn't have synapse, but that could be massive swing where you're just like, oh, we're actually going to scare all of you off of the objectives. And I think it's good because morale's like, it's either the whole squad's going to die anyway, or it's like it does nothing. And now it's like, it's likely to take effect. And actually, there's another thing. The Screamer Killer has a rule, which I don't think we remember to use, where it forces them to take a battle shock test every turn. Yeah. It didn't make a difference to the final outcome, but it's causing the Terminator to be like, oh no, we're actually pretty scared of this giant beastie that's trying to kill us. So I think that
kind of makes sense.
So thank you very much for watching this first 10th edition light battle report. It's been really great fun, and I can't wait to play some more when the box finally launches in June. In the meantime, my name has been Ollie.
And my name has been Meg.
I'll see you all next time.